Nebraska, and if you don't grow up walking beans and detesting corn, I don't know how you could possibly have character. So you're going to need to pre-agree on this prenuptial agreement that we're going to raise our kids in Nebraska, because otherwise I don't know how they'll turn out right. So Alex, my 10-year-old, sometimes masquerading as campaign manager, is here in the center of the room. But we've got an 8, or a 10, and a 12, and a 2-year-old kid that we're blessed to be raised in less than a mile from where I grew up in Fremont. And it's an unbelievable gift to be raising your kids in Nebraska, because people in Nebraska know when President Obama says you didn't build that, they fundamentally know in their belly what's wrong with that. It's not true. You can't go to Beatrice and go to the National Homestead Memorial and see that place and look at 2 pages of legislation, by the way, in contrast to Obamacare's 2,300 pages of legislation that then Speaker Nancy Pelosi said they had to pass to read and finally figure out what was in it. I don't know what they thought their job was, but it's a 2-page piece of legislation that defines so much of this community. We know that our ancestors came here and actually carved a future out of the ground. We know that you did build that in your small businesses in Lincoln. You built neighborhoods, churches, schools, farms, ranches, communities. The center of life is in Lincoln, Nebraska, and is in Beatrice, Nebraska, and Fremont, and Arlington, and Hooper. But we have to be able to persuade people that meaning comes from local communities, comes from the private sector, comes from civil society. In 5 minutes, we don't have time to go through all of our biography, but I'm in my 5th year as college president in Fremont, my hometown. Midland University is a 130-year-old school that knew how to pay the bills for about 123 years, then tried real hard to go bankrupt. We're blessed now that we're the fastest growing school in about a 7-state region. So great stuff is happening in Midland. Most of my career, to the other question about businesses you've seen, most of my career has been in the private sector as a turnaround guy, in the corporate world, and to a certain degree in the not-for-profit space. But I've worked in lots of businesses that are big and broken. And when you go into an organization that's looking at potentially declaring bankruptcy, the first thing you have to do is stop digging and tell the truth. What we have going on in Washington, D.C. right now is fundamentally unsustainable. We don't just have 14 trillion, come 16 trillion, come $17 trillion in debt. We have $72 trillion of total unfunded obligations. It's just that the U.S. government keeps fake books and moves all the entitlement programs off book. This is not sustainable. We're guilty of generational theft, and we need to have a real conversation about fundamental entitlement reform, and it requires admitting that business as usual doesn't work. It isn't just the nation that's in crisis, it's the Republican Party that's in crisis that keeps electing the same kind of candidates as opposed to actually persuading people about what it takes to fix the country. You can find out more about our project at benfornebraska.com, and thanks for having me.
A round of applause, if you would, for Todd Watson.
Hello, LIBA. Great to be here. My name is Todd Watson. I'm running as an independent candidate. I have a long history of being a Republican. I left 5 years ago because I realized a lot of what Ben's saying. Republicans are not working on Capitol Hill, and that's the fundamental reality of what's going on. I'm happy to be married for the last 12 years. I have 4 amazing kids, and I care about their future very much. I own 2 businesses here in Lincoln. I employ 60 people. We're proud to be a part of this community and serve it. And we too are against Obamacare. I stand 100% with Republican colleagues on repealing Obamacare. The difference with us as an independent is we need to be proactive with the plan. I serve the working poor in my company. They need help. They need care that's more affordable, and we get that through the marketplace. Unfortunately, we have private interests manipulating health care. Republicans have taken $2.1 billion in lobbying money from drug companies. It's the reason we pay double for drugs in this country. We need to get private interest out of the parties. It's hurting us. We have Democrats aligned with lawyers. Court reform, lawsuit reform will lower the cost in this country. We need to take it on. We need to know what prices we're paying at the provider level. This is capitalism. This will work. And this is what we need in our system. Not what we're against, but solutions on what we're for. And that's why we need to be independent and move forward. I'm against raising the minimum wage. but I don't believe in fixed pie thinking of win or lose. I'll tell you what I did when I bought my business. I lowered the leasing commissions from $11.50 an hour to minimum wage. Sounds equal, doesn't it? I put incentive-based compensation on top of minimum wage. I pay $14 to $17 an hour now for the same position. How can I afford that? Incredible productivity. They're incented for productivity. They create results for my clients, they create results for my company, and they created results for themselves. That's American capitalism. That works. Furthermore, what I've seen in my business that hurts is OSHA regulations. It takes twice as long to fix a roof on the buildings I take care of. They put ropes and harnesses up top. I think it's more dangerous than it ever was before. God made the mind to say, we need to be careful on roofs. We don't need OSHA telling us that. If you elect me to Washington, we will fight the regulation that's killing our businesses. It's killing us. Furthermore, balanced budget. Look what just happened. The Republicans kicked the ball down the road another 2 years. 75% of them. And they preached balanced budget to you forever. I'm a strong fiscal conservative. We will take it on, and we will not bow to the party leaders that are killing us, nor the party. They're in it for their power. They quit responding to the people. And I echo what Jenkins has had to say with empowering people in this country. It's time to overthrow the party system. Finally, we need God in this country. We do. Not everyone here has the same religious faith. That's okay. I respect and tolerate all faiths. However, we're socially crumbling in this country. Christ makes a difference. As a conservative, and ideologically who believes in conservatism, we're going to change this country on the one-to-one level. You changing it, not me, not the government. I fight for religious liberty very hard. I want to protect our churches. I want to keep government out of our churches. Because these are the people that are going to change this country. It's you. It's you. And it's not just the economic problems, it's the social problems that we have. We need a complete new solution. Be independent with me. Be independent of party. Be independent of mind. Be a free thinker. Sorry about that. Folks. But anyways, we're turning to a nation of Cub fans. We do the same thing every year, thinking it's going to change. It's not going to change until you change. We have to change our votes. America, I need your support. Nebraskans, I need your support more. They don't get it. But please, get involved with the campaign. Check me out at Watson for Senate. Sign my petition. Let my voice be heard, because we need to change this country. Thank you.
Our goal today was to give you a little piece of information about each one of the candidates that are running for U.S. Senate. It is an important race. Hopefully you learned some things today. Maybe you are walking away with a few questions. The nice thing is we're ending early today. And so if you have questions, feel free to come up and approach the candidates. And